Dear students, I have come with a new module, Cumulative Frequency Distribution. Now, we have learned what is an ordinary frequency distribution. See, for example, if you are arranging the marks of students in a class, marks and the frequency values will be there. 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45, like that, and the corresponding number of students that will be represented as frequency. That is called that ordinary frequency distribution. Now we are going to learn this cumulative frequency distribution. Cumulative frequency distribution will have a running total of values. See in the example 30 to 35. If the total frequency is 70, we will mention that students who got more than 30, the frequency value will be 70. So whatever the total of the frequency will be the first value. Then 35. Students who got more than 35. Imagine 30 to 35, 5 students got 30 to 35 marks. So 5 we will reduce from that. So 70 minus 5, 65 will be those who got more than 35. Like this we will arrange, then it is called a cumulative frequency distribution. That is the second point. It is constructed by adding the frequencies of the first class interval to the frequency of the second class interval and so on. See, there are two ways of representing cumulative frequency distribution. Final total will appear against the last class interval. So that is whatever the final total. I am going to explain with one problem how we are doing less than cumulative frequency and more than cumulative frequency distribution. So then I will explain it with the example. So the frequencies thus obtained are called cumulative frequencies. See, in the ordinary frequency distribution, we are calling it as just frequency values, small f. I told you in statistics, the symbols we will use are important. Frequencies we always represent with small f, and cumulative frequency we will always represent as CF, that is small c and small f. So cumulative frequency meaning adding the frequency values. It's not the direct values. So when you're getting a cumulative frequency distribution for statistical calculation, you have to convert it into ordinary frequency distribution. That is why we are giving importance for cumulative frequency distribution. The cumulation can be upward or downward. See, I already told you less than cumulative frequency distribution is possible, more than cumulative frequency distribution is possible. So I am going to take one example and I am going to show that both ways of representing that. So a downward cumulation results in a list presenting number of frequencies less than any given amount as revealed by the lower limit of the succeeding class interval. So this is just the definition. With the problem I am going to explain. Now similarly, an upward cumulation results in a list presenting number of frequencies more than any given amount as revealed by the upper limit of the preceding class interval. So I am going to take an example, ordinary frequency distribution, and I am going to explain how we can do the less than cumulative frequency distribution and more than cumulative frequency distribution. So this I am taking, prepare the cumulative frequency distribution, less than and more than. So the marks of students 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45, 45 to 50, 50 to 55 and 55 to 60, and total frequency is 70. So the 30 to 35, 5 students who got between 30 to 35, 10 students between 35 to 40, 15 students between 40 to 45, 30 students got between 45 to 50, and 5 students got between 50 to 55 and 55 to 60, again 5 students got this marks. So the total frequency is 70. Now we are going to see that how we are going to write the less than cumulative frequency distribution. So this is the table. First column we will write the marks, second column the frequency values, and then the third column is cumulative frequency values. Cumulative frequency values meaning adding the frequency values. So 30 to 35. So 5 meaning the cumulative frequency value also will be 5. Next class is 35 to 40. So the frequency value is 10. So the cumulative frequency value will be 10 plus 5. It's 15. 40 to 45. 15 plus the corresponding frequency for that class, that is 15. So 15 plus 15 we are getting 30. Next class is 45 to 50. 30 is the frequency. So 30 plus 30, that is 60. 50 to 55. 5 is the frequency. So 60 plus 5, 65. 55 to 60, 5 is the frequency, 65 plus 5, 70 is the cumulative frequency total. So this is one way of expressing cumulative less than cumulative frequency distribution. Total frequency is 70. Here also we are getting the total frequency as 70. Only difference is that it's not the direct frequency values, adding the frequency values and we are getting the value as cumulative frequency values. I am again repeating that if you want to do the problem, you have to convert it into frequency values. With that only we can do the calculation. Now another way of presenting less than cumulative frequency distribution is less than 30 is 0, less than 35 5, less than 40 15, less than 45 is 30, less than 50 is 60, less than 55 is 65, less than 60 meaning 70. That meaning if you get a problem like this, you know that this is cumulative frequency distribution. You have to convert it into ordinary frequency distribution for computation. Now the upward cumulative frequency distribution. So more than cumulative frequency distribution, how we are going to show that? So this will start with the total of the frequency value. Then you keep subtracting the values of each frequency. So that is 30 to 35, 5 is the frequency. Total cumulative frequency will be 70. Because students who got more than 30, 70 students are there. So that will be the first frequency. Now 30 to 35, 5 is the frequency of that class. So the next class when you write 35 to 40, you will 70 minus 5. That is how you are getting 65. Next is 40 to 45. 15 is the frequency. So 65 minus 10 is 55. Next is 45 to 50 is the class and 30 is the frequency. So 55 minus 15 you will get 40. Next is 50 to 55. So 5 is the frequency. 40 minus 30 you will get 10. Next is 55 to 60. 5 is the frequency. 10 minus 5 you will get 5. So this is how you calculate more than cumulative frequency distribution. So one more method is there, how you can explain the more than cumulative frequency distribution or how you can express the more than cumulative frequency distribution. More than 30 is 70. More than 35 is 65 because 30 to 35, 5 was the frequency. So 70 minus 5 you are getting 65. More than 40, 55. More than 45, 40. More than 50, 10. More than 55, 5 and more than 60, 0. So these are the methods of explaining. Two methods are there if you want to explain less than cumulative frequency distribution or more than cumulative frequency distribution. So this is what I want to explain with this module and thank you.